Can you discern fact from fiction? Welcome, esteemed explorers of knowledge. The era we live in is a veritable maze of information, a world where facts can be obscured and fiction presented as truth. It's an age where access to information is as easy as tapping a screen, where news is disseminated in real time, where opinions are shared widely across digital platforms. We are living in a time where narratives, both true and false, coexist and often compete for our attention. Yet, amidst this overflow, it is increasingly difficult to sift the truth from the untruths. Consequently, it is crucial for individuals to possess the right tools to navigate this information labyrinth. To be skilled in the art of critical thinking is to be armed with a powerful shield against misinformation, deception, manipulation. It's a survival skill, as necessary as the air we breathe. But what does it mean to think critically? This is a question that warrants deep consideration. Critical thinking is more than just skepticism or doubting everything you hear. It's far from being a cynic or a doubter. Rather, it is a skill, a multifaceted one that encompasses different aspects of our cognition and comprehension. Critical thinking allows us to observe, to step back and assess a situation or piece of information from an unbiased perspective. It encourages us to not just accept what is presented to us at face value, but to delve deeper, to question this information, and to examine the motives behind its dissemination. Then, it requires us to analyze, to take apart the information, dissect its constitutive parts, and study each element in isolation and in relation to the whole. This is akin to a scientist in a lab breaking down a compound to understand its composition and properties. Next, it demands evaluation, that requires us to assign value to the information based on its credibility, usefulness, and relevance. This stage is critical because it determines how we interact with the information and the decisions we make based on it. Further, it necessitates interpretation, making sense of the data, connecting the dots, and drawing conclusions. It involves seeing patterns where others see chaos, recognizing implications and consequences that others might overlook. Lastly, it calls for reflection, a thoughtful consideration of our thoughts, biases, and viewpoints. This prompts us to challenge our own beliefs and assumptions, helping us grow and evolve as individuals. In essence, critical thinking is about asking the right questions, seeking solid evidence, weighing arguments from an objective standpoint, and being ready to consider alternative viewpoints. It's a process of active and purposeful thinking, not passive acceptance. It requires to be open-minded, ready to entertain different views, while maintaining a healthy dose of skepticism. It is a dance between curiosity and doubt, a balance between acceptance and questioning. In the face of the information deluge we experience today, critical thinking is not just a skill, it's a necessity. It requires an open mind ready to consider alternative viewpoints, while also maintaining a healthy dose of skepticism. Now, let's hear from some experts. Expert 1, a much celebrated psychologist known for his incisive analysis and cutting-edge research, steps forward first to share his perspective. He begins, "In a world where misinformation spreads at an alarming rate, critical thinking is our shield." He pauses, letting the weight of his words sink in. We live in an era of information overload, a time where every click, every scroll can potentially lead to a barrage of half-truths and outright lies. This digital age can bombard us with baseless conspiracy theories, manipulative fake news, and malicious propaganda, all ingeniously designed to sway public opinion and influence our decision-making processes. He elaborates. Expert 1 continues, "Disturbingly, this tsunami of misinformation is not limited to just social media platforms or obscure online forums. It permeates every aspect of our daily lives, from mainstream media to casual conversations with friends. Therefore, we need a robust defense mechanism, something that can serve as our beacon amidst this sea of falsehoods. That, my friends, is the value of critical thinking. It equips us with the tools to scrutinize every piece of information that comes our way, to question its validity, to probe its source, and to discern fact from fiction. Now, it's time for Expert 2, a highly esteemed philosopher known for his thought-provoking insights and revolutionary ideas, to add his viewpoint. He nods in agreement with his predecessor, but a slightly different angle. He states, critical thinking isn't just a protective measure. He pauses briefly, surveying the audience. It's far more than that. It's a weapon, a tool of empowerment lodged in our intellectual arsenal. Expert 2 elaborates. It's not just about identifying false narratives or debunking lies. It's about proactively examining the world around us, challenging long-held beliefs and assumptions, and confronting deeply ingrained systems and structures. It gives us the ability, the courage even, to question authority, to confront and cross-examine those in power. He further explains, critical thinking encourages curiosity, fosters skepticism, and kindles a thirst for truth. It implores us not to accept things at face value, but to delve deeper, to seek out hidden motives, and to uncover underlying biases. It compels us to ask why things are the way they are, and challenges us to envisage how they might be different. Expert 2 concludes, in essence, critical thinking is our catalyst for positive change. It empowers each one of us to be active participants in society, to use our voices, our ideas, and our questions to shape the narrative and drive forward progress. It gives us the power to challenge the status quo, question authority, and advocate for positive change. Critical thinking isn't just a skill, it's a skill set threaded with a unique perspective. It is not merely a cognitive toolbox of abilities we use when we want to solve complex problems. No, it is a mindset, a pervasive way of perceiving and interacting with the world around us. It is an attitude, an approach, an understanding that surface observation, diving deep into the complexities of any situation with the intent to understand, evaluate, and process it thoroughly. Consider it as a lens through which we view everything around us, a lens that brings into focus the nuances that often remain overlooked. It is the curiosity to question, to know more, to understand why and how things are the way they are. It's about being inquisitive, constantly seeking truth, and refusing to settle for simplistic answers. It's about understanding that the world is not black and white, certain or fixed, but a spectrum of colors, a realm of possibilities, a myriad of viewpoints. The humility aspect involved in critical thinking is also essential. It is about that we may not always have all the answers, that we can be wrong, and that it's okay. It's about valuing other perspectives, learning from others, and adapting our beliefs when we find better evidence. It's about being open-minded enough to listen and consider, yet astute enough to discern between what makes sense and what doesn't. The core of critical thinking is intellectual rigor. It's about having the resilience to think hard and think deeply, to weigh evidence, to discern truth from falsehood, to logically analyze arguments, and to reflect upon our own thoughts and beliefs. It's applying reason and logic to our thought process, using evidence and systematic thinking to reach reasoned conclusions. Every significant achievement, every stride in human progress is fueled by this quintessential mindset. From the scientific revolution that transformed our understanding of the natural world, achievements like the discovery of DNA structure, the invention of the internet, to the civil rights movement that marked a critical shift in societal norms, critical thinkers have been at the helm of change. Think of the likes of Galileo Galilei, Martin Luther King Jr., or Marie Curie. They were all critical thinkers. They refused to accept the status quo. They questioned, they explored, they dreamed. They challenged conventional wisdom and pushed the boundaries of knowledge. Confronting the norms, resisting the biases, defying the dogmas, they ushered in the waves of change that shaped our world. Critical thinkers are the agents of change, the drivers of progress. They don't just accept things as they are, they push for how they could be. They dare to dream, to question, to challenge, and to change. They have challenged conventional wisdom and pushed the boundaries of knowledge. As we continue on this journey of truth-seeking, let's delve deeper into the nuances of this quest. It's a journey that requires not just courage, but also a commitment to not take everything at face value. For true enlightenment does not come easy. It requires us to question, to probe, to dig, and to not rest until we've unearthed the truth. Let's explore the importance of critical thinking in this process. Critical thinking, my fellow truth seekers, serves as our guiding light in the dense fog of misleading information that surrounds us. It provides us with the ability to analyze information objectively and make reasoned judgments. It teaches us to not accept what we're presented with blindly, but rather to question it, to challenge it, and to seek deeper understanding. As we embark on this journey together, let's remember that every piece of information we come across, no matter how insignificant it may seem, has the potential to either steer us closer to or farther away from the truth. Thus, every step we take on this path, every question we ask, every doubt we harbor, brings us one step closer to achieving our ultimate goal, enlightenment. Critical thinking not only unravels the mysteries of the universe, but also serves as our compass in this journey. It points us towards the right direction, guiding us through the thick forest of falsehoods and towards the light of truth. It helps us to differentiate between what's real, what's not, what's fact, and what's fiction. And as we navigate through this maze of information, let's remember to keep our minds sharp, for a discerning mind is our greatest weapon in this quest. But let's not forget to keep our hearts open as well. For truth-seeking is not just about finding facts, but also understanding perspectives. It's about empathy, about understanding why people believe what they believe, and respecting those beliefs, even if we don't agree with them. This journey may be long and arduous, but let's not lose heart, dear truth seekers. Let's stay strong, keep our spirits high, and keep seeking the truth. And as we continue on this path, let's not forget to share our learnings with others, for enlightenment is not a solitary journey, but a collective one. If you found, please like and share our message. Encourage others to join us in this quest for truth. For the more truth seekers we have, the brighter our future will be. Subscribe to our channel for more insights and discussions on truth seeking. Keep the conversation going, and let's collectively work towards a more enlightened future. Until next time, keep your mind sharp and your hearts open.